Things are already heating up, folks. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to be covering a ton of stuff in this video. What's going on currently in Sweden. We have, of course, more new cyber hacking. We got, of course, massive layoffs already coming in. What's going on in Texas. And actually a ton of other things, including some stuff going on in Britain. Let's get into this. First, we'll start with this here, folks. Increase in real spending rose 5 times the increase in real disposable income, meaning people are spending 5 times as much as they actually have in the bank. And this is what the most recent thing was. The last hurrah of people buying things was probably Christmas, and that's the last time you're going to be able to afford anything in a while. Consumers went on a spending spree in December, dipping into savings or borrowing to do so. The BEA's personal income outlays report for December shows consumers went on an unsustainable spending spree. Personal income increased $60 billion. Disposable personal income less than current taxes increased $51.8 billion. Personal consumption expenditures $134 billion. So you can see the expenses went way up beyond what their income and their disposable income was. Pretty much doubled it. Actually, it's more than double it. So it's in the negative, as we were talking before. I made a video about 70 days ago saying there's 60 days until basically we have $0 in the bank for consumer excess savings, and we're already in the negative, of course. American consumers won't save the economy in 2024, and their wild holiday spending spree was the last hurrah. Wells Fargo says consumers won't rescue the U.S. economy. Obviously, this is the case. You can see that basically we're going to now just see what we're at. We basically went off the deep end, okay? You know, kind of like when you're out in the ocean and you got kind of the plateau, and then it just all the way, that's where we're at, all right? So I guess we'll see what ends up happening as a result of that. But, of course, we're going to get into, like I said, a ton of stuff. We have some big stories. I'm just covering some of these small stories first. We're going to get into what's going on with Elon Musk and Tesla, what's going on with the mainstream, folks. We're talking media. Unbelievable. Going to get into a lot of stuff as we get into this video. First of all, I got to mention food supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. 3 months worth for $5.97. And honestly, you're going to definitely need it if you haven't already bought it, folks. There's so many things coming this year. It's something you're going to definitely want to have in just in case. A link is in the description for that. Also, of course, they have the self-powered indoor space heater and stove. Check that out as well. $169.55. And of course, this book here, The Lost Ways, how your great-great-grandfather lived without electricity, and how you may soon as well be living without electricity. Hopefully not, but it's always wise to be prepared just in case. Get the printed version, of course. Link is in the description. It's like $37 plus shipping. And check out my website. I'm uploading some really awesome exclusive videos over in the membership section. Basically continuations of things I'm covering over here and just getting into more detail, and sometimes just straight up exclusive content altogether, things I can't or don't cover over here. Link is in the description. Let's get back to the video. So we have Microsoft, cyber hacking. We're seeing a lot of stuff going on in this realm with many companies right now. We have, of course, Microsoft also at the same exact time lays off 1,900 workers, nearly 9% of the gaming division after Activision Blizzard acquisition. Now, I mentioned that we had this shock poll come out where they said 38% of companies are going to be doing layoffs this year. This is according to the companies. 38% are going to do layoffs this year. And we also have a very strange figure that directly seems to relate to that figure, talking about them thinking they're not going to be in business as well. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Wanted to mention about Tesla. So Tesla stock hasn't fallen enough. This analyst sees a further 30% downside. So it's already went down quite a bit. EVs, giant stock doubled in 2023. I always thought that thing was way inflated as investors cheered price cutting strategy while net income expectations dropped 45%. The fact is, right now, these are an expensive vehicle. He is talking about releasing in 2025 a more affordable vehicle, $25,000 entry level for a Tesla, which is not bad. Considering the prices of everything these days, that's not bad. But we're seeing there are going to be huge amounts of losses in the stock market for Tesla, I think, throughout this year. And of course, Elon Musk is feeling it. Elon Musk predicts 25,000 entry-level Tesla could launch as soon as late 2025, heralding return to high growth for slumping EV maker. Now, this is the case with all companies right now anyways, but they were on such a plateau, it's not really surprising. So GM, Ford, all of them are hurting right now as well. And don't be surprised if they don't try to do bailouts in some not so distant future again, for how many times they've done it already. Business Insider to lay off around 8% of its workforce. I think the last article was from Business Insider. So a lot of the articles I cover are from like places like Business Insider or Market Insider. To lay off 8% of its workforce. So we're seeing this number a lot, 8, 9%, 14%, even in some cases 30%. So don't be surprised. So if you just take out a calculator, 38% of these companies are saying they're going to do layoffs, times that by, let's just say the average 14%, that's 5.32% increase in unemployment. That's going to clearly just decimate their claim that unemployment's super low and everything's awesome. Don't worry about it. That's going to be completely decimated this year. All right, so that's that. Let's get into some other stuff. Let's get back into Microsoft, or not Microsoft, but what's going on with all these companies losing jobs, and we're seeing now with the media. It's looking really bad for the media right now, folks. Mainstream outlets / jobs as business suffers. And there's some that are talking like it's the end for them, folks. I don't know. I mean, we see stories like this here and there, but this is the first time I've seen it where they're like really look like it's a big concern. Let's look at this a little bit. Nearly a dozen mainstream media companies are gutting staff and scrambling to rescue their struggling businesses. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it, because most of the mainstream is all on one side of the aisle, and they, for some reason, don't want to make anything on the other side of the aisle. You know what I mean? Like, people like me end up doing it here on YouTube, and they wonder why they can't keep their budgets going. They got these ridiculously expensive office buildings that they're staying in. They have grossly inflated wages and CEOs and tons of white collar workers they don't even need probably. And of course, there's lots of money being pumped in from billionaires to these organizations, but they're obviously losing money now. So I guess it's kind of what do they expect? I honestly, it's good to see. We need some more on the other side anyways. The entire journalism industry is in free fall. Taylor Lorenz vlogs the death of MSM as BuzzFeed, Insider, and Vice jettison assets. And I just saw something about Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated literally fired all their staff. Well, there's like some weird arrangement they had going on where they're working with some other company for distribution, and they literally just fired all the staff. Like, there's no more Sports Illustrated, folks. I guess you don't got to worry about the swimsuit issue anymore, considering that they were having overweight people, and those not of the exact same gender, things like that. I wonder why no one wanted to read it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So that was one of the reasons. This is actually the statistic I was talking about. 1/3 of small business owners worried their company won't survive in 2024. And honestly, I mean, even a year ago, these companies were struggling just to pay, for their office space and things like that. And that's, of course, a lot of these companies started to, use that as an excuse to go work remotely and stuff like that. But they want to make payroll too. If they can't make payroll, you're just not going to work for them anymore, right? They're going to find a way, AI or whatever, to, or either that or just go bankrupt or be like Sports Illustrated and just fire everybody. I don't know. Massive layoffs coming in 2024. This is what I predicted. We're seeing it already starts. I said it would be worse than last year. We're already seeing it. It's pretty obvious. Mass layoffs are in store for this year, and it might end up affecting nearly half the companies, according to a new poll. Latest information from Resume Builder Survey, based on responses from more than 900 companies this month, resume builder is a professional platform, blah, blah, blah. In the survey, nearly 4 in 10 companies said they're likely to have layoffs in 2024. 4 in 10. And this is what I was saying. I think it was the 38% one they're talking about. So they prompting increased fears of recession. Oh, come on, dude. Seriously. Let's just be technical with this. We were in a recession more than once already while they told us we haven't entered a recession. We actually went into a recession, went out of a recession, went back into a recession, but they're still acting like we never went into a recession. It's just in the future, folks. Whatever, you know what I mean? More than half the companies also said they plan to implement a hiring freeze in 2024. So again, if we have all these people laid off, it's not like you're going to go swap it out for another job as easily because a lot of these companies are freezing hiring. So maybe some of that will be undone. It was like 5%. So maybe like 1 or 2% back. You know, so you're going to have a pretty decently high unemployment this year based on what we're seeing. U.S. median rents slide for 8 months on surge in new apartment supply. So basically no one can afford apartments, and so they don't buy them, so they're not renting them, and as a result, the prices are going down. So then we got this here. We got cyber hacking. This is actually interesting. There's tons of stories in this realm right now. I mean, every hour there's a new one. And we're seeing Sweden, damage from cyber hacking in Sweden may take weeks to recover. So we're seeing a lot of stories in this realm right now. And it's just so bizarre how things are. They're shutting down power plants in the middle of the winter. That's rocket science here. We got hacking. We've seen weird things happening at power plants. We've seen them happening at just random companies, telecoms, everything. And they always blame it on the Ruslans, R-U-S-S-I-A. They always blame it on them, those guys. For some reason, they're always allegedly the guilty party doing it. We caught them again, folks. They keep doing it everywhere. I mean, give me a break. I highly doubt it's just them, because there's like thousands of stories now. If you go look through this, if I do this by the hour, you can switch it to hour instead of relevance. It's like every hour there's a new one. So clearly, it's a lot of different parties doing this stuff. Computer systems of Swedish GOV agencies made inoperable by an attack on Tietovri data center, if that's how you say it, may be down for weeks. Wow. That's, this is what I always thought too, man. We got a lot of people just assume like, oh, we're the West, we're the best. This thing, you got Norway, Sweden, a lot of these countries, I don't think they could even, like, if there was a world, WAR, they'd be gone in like a heartbeat. I'm serious. This right here is just an example of what I'm talking about. They're down for weeks. Okay? A GOV, some part of their data center, one of their main hubs, down. Okay, so then we have this here. JPMorgan faces $45 billion in hacking attempts. Now, you know what? They're going to blame it on the Ruslans, but I'm telling you, it's probably just people that want money. I mean, a lot of broke people right now that have hacking skills are going to do stuff, It ain't rocket science. 45 billion in hacking attempts. Wow. That's pretty good. That's a lot, man. They're saying, oh, the U.S. financial system is in trouble. Oh, it's already in trouble without this. So a lot of this going on as well. And what else do we got here, folks? Hewlett Packard. I mean, there's so many of these, and they claim it's the Ruslans. Oh no, it's them doing it. They're doing it. Hewlett Packard. Like, why would they even care about Hewlett Packard? What is Hewlett Packard going to do? What I mean? They're just a computer company. Give me a break. Like, what relevance is that to the Ruslans? Do they have any relevance whatsoever? I could see it in the case of some of these other companies, or like, some sort of important laboratories, or maybe something like some of these companies that engineer some of our jets and things like that. I could see that. But like Hewlett Packard, really? I don't think so. I mean, at least I don't see any relevance to it. Maybe it's just some, individual groups trying to get money or something. I don't know. You got Target. We're saying UK because of what happened in Yemen. And of course, this happens to be a Sudan-based group that did this. And this actually looks like something that, obviously this is something like all these other stories are trying to paint. Like this actually has to do with WAR. This is actually what that is. But a lot of these other ones are like, you know, Hewlett Packard or like Mr. Cooper. Oh, we got hacked. And then like the day before he sold all his shares. And then they get hacked again. We got hacked again. And then something else weird happens when they get hacked the second time. Okay, bro. You sure you didn't hire those hackers yourself? I don't know. Of course, I'm just joking. I don't know what happened. And of course, on top of that, to add to your Twilight Zone, folks, we have the ancient zombie viruses. Yes, indeed. Actually, this is a literal story from Fox. Okay? Okay, like I said, man, like this is the world we live in these days, folks. Fox weather. You know, this is it. Ancient zombie viruses, folks. This is not a movie. It's not a sci-fi movie, folks. This is the real thing. This isn't the movie The Thing, which they found actually in the exact same place, right? Because this is claimed to be from the Arctic or something. What is this saying here? Due to global warming. So, folks, you can't drink any more coffee because it's damaging the environment. Because you're damaging the environment, there's going to be ancient zombies that are going to come and run amok all across America. Yes, indeed, folks. We're going to need Superman to save us. Come on. What is up with these? These are supposed to be legitimate, you know, stories. I mean, there might be something here. I don't know. But what is this? Viruses that became trapped in frozen Earth thousands of years ago. How would you even know? Were you there? Will be released as rising temperatures cause the soil to thaw. So apparently they're just assuming there are zombie viruses in the Arctic, and because you are drinking coffee, you're going to release the zombie apocalypse, folks. That's what's going to happen. All right. Microbes over 400,000 years old have been found frozen in Earth, known as permafrost, and as it thawed, according to NASA. So now NASA's telling us this. Okay, that means that these ancient bacteria and viruses could be old enough to have coexisted with Neanderthals, which were our closest extinct human relative. Of course, we're not leaping to any assumptions here, folks. This is all completely scientific. Trust, of course, the science. All right? No sarcasm whatsoever. All right, so watch out for the ancient alien zombie virus coming to a place near you, folks. But I mean, honestly, they have been talking about something. The world, you know, economic guys have been talking about something, and no one's been taking them seriously, and they're getting very concerned. We're talking about disease, of course, X. They put that out there like, it's coming, folks. And you're like, okay, what? There's going to be some monkeys somewhere, and all of a sudden it's everywhere. And then we got to close everything again so that you can save the economy and actually just take all the money from us and give it to yourselves. Is that what's going to happen? And of course, apparently, their chief, chief is saying that people are not concerned about it. They're just not believing it. And they consider it fake, of course, news, folks. I wonder why we don't trust him anymore. I don't know what's going on there. That's kind of weird. Then, of course, we have Governor Abbott saying he's not going to back down, folks. With all this stuff going on, of course, at the border, folks, he's not going to back down. And it's good. And it's really bizarre how our wonderful press is responding. Like, you know, I mean, it's really weird. You would think that he would want to also stop this from occurring, but apparently he doesn't. It's actually a very big concern of his to make sure it continues. From what I mean, at least not his words. His words are like, yeah, I'm on board with you, but, you know, his actions say the exact opposite of his words. Texas refuses to back down. Let's see, what do we got here, folks? In border, standoff with the feds, as a record 302K coming across, of course, in December alone. In December alone, folks. 302,000. And this is just so bizarre looking at this stuff. It's just like, I mean, I guess you have to be sort of like a brain numb zombie. I mean, you got to be like one of these zombies from the zombie apocalypse to, from the TV show Last of Us or The Walking Dead TV show, to even believe this stuff anymore. What is this? You know, okay, let's just open it wide and just let them all run in. And of course, this isn't for any weird reason. We just want to bring them in. You basically have to be a brain dead zombie to even believe the stuff that they put out these days. But of course, we are in the zombie apocalypse. Global warming, we've caused it already. That's why everybody around you is like a zombie, okay? Just joking, but you know what I mean. So what else do we have here, folks? Honestly, I got some more stuff here as well. We have, of course, something going on with Carrie here. Apparently, someone doesn't want her to be around anymore. I wonder why. I mean, it's almost like they want her to just not win. Kind of like another guy, our previous prez, and just go away. They tried to offer her, of course, some money. It didn't work out too well because she didn't accept the money. She's not interested in that. And they actually have the audio tape, which proves it was actually a real thing to happen. So they got the audio tape, so it was really what happened. Right? Again, you live in the Twilight Zone, folks. Some very powerful, of course, people. They don't want you to be there. I wonder why. They're too busy telling you to stop drinking coffee because of global warming. You're causing global warming. I mean, it's the same people behind all of this, right? Basically, I mean, it seems like it. Either that or they're all in agreement, one of the two. We also have the ECB, some lenders to monitor social media for early signs of bank runs. So, look, like every sector is just like right there walking a tightrope right now. You know, at any moment, you think that none of this stuff could ever happen, but you have so many different variables that look like it could happen in this sector, that sector, this. One of them is going to happen, right? You know something's going to happen this year, and it's probably going to be more than one. And, of course, also, let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah, in Great Britain, they're telling their citizens they should be trained and equipped for potential WAR. This is from Sky News, okay? We have one of NATO's admirals saying pretty much the exact same thing. Stockpile food. Get prepared for WAR. So you have Britain's chief, you got NATO, I mean, they're all telling you the same thing. Kind of interesting how it's them telling you and not like, you know, some of our dear, of course, leaders in the GOV, they don't seem to really care, you know what I mean? But so they seem to be pretty concerned. So I'm kind of wondering what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.